Hello, hello. It's your girl Mocaso, and this is the Secret Life of the NFT Artist, Season 1, Episode 5. And we are going to dive right in. I'm going to, well, first, let me tell you guys about my YouTube struggle. So last week, I tried to go live, and it says, oh, you have to request it. Wait 24 hours your first time. So of course I did the pre-recording and then just posted it as usual. And this time I really wanted to make sure my screen was recording instead of me recording. One of the things that I really noticed is that I'm a lot more comfortable when I'm not sitting here looking at myself, especially when it's just me, and I'm just talking about things that I've gone through, thinking about what I've actually thought I've been, going to say and what I have here on my notes instead of looking at myself and kind of getting distracted at times. So I really enjoy doing this and have actually just talked with my husband and have a lot more coming for YouTube in general. And sometimes, I'll be showing myself here and there on those, but here for the Secret Life of the NFT Artist, I want it to be focused on the journey, not me. And even my art, I like being able to put it out there. I even, want to start bringing back the usefulness of being able to use this for stuff like titles, just like this is beautiful art for the podcast. So, just bringing that principle back and using it. So diving right in, I'm just going to record it, post it like what I do, because that's what I can. And that's what I want to start with. That message is do what you can. So this week we had a meeting every Wednesday. All the realm leaders meet together, and realms are, the different labels that all the designers are creating on their own. And they are amazing. Each realm is so unique, so different. Everyone has such unique visions. I don't even know the word to describe them, because it's not like an ordinary, I want to start, the first luxury brand. It's not just like, a normal, I want to go and start a t-shirt label or something like that. Emma, which is always a great example, who's creating the F3 manifesto realm, is literally creating text and putting it on textiles. And this text is going to be the stories from, the area and the importance of creating textiles and just a whole vision in it. And then you have other realms that are talking about mental health and futuristic techno and just so many amazing things, focusing on scavenger hunts, and just each realm is so different. I encourage you all to go into each one. One of the cool things they really did was create an article to introduce each realm. So if you're in the Global Designer Network or in the Digital X server, scroll all the way up to the top of each realm and you'll see an article that describes each one. And join all the ones that fit I always say float your boat. So yeah, join all the ones that float your boat. Be an active community member, supporting these designers who's trying to create these crazy ideas and bring them to life, because that's how we're going to be successful, by helping each other and supporting each other. So we had this meeting on Wednesday, all the realm leaders, and we were talking, about our progress, how everything's going. And all of us, say we've gone as far as we can at this point, and then we hit this point where it's like, okay, I'm not sure how I do this next step, but this is what I can do. And I even gave that same message of, especially with me being more of a physical designer, learning the digital part, I really had to tell myself, do what you can, especially after I always like to kind of re-listen to the stuff that I put out. And when I heard myself mention my goal and how I said, I wanted to sell NFTs and use that to buy my laptop, and then the book about how you have to work harder instead of borrowing from your savings, because then that's how you run out of money. I was like, you know what? I just got to start selling some more NFTs. So I put, my action behind everything, and I'm like, what can I do then? And it's a new season. It's a new year. My birthday's coming up. It's just like, all right, we're all in position. It's just time to move forward at this point. So how am I able to do that? By making a new t-shirt, getting some new designs coming, getting some new patterns. We have a new season for Raw Season 1, and that is Blackout. So I made some awesome tie-dye t-shirts, and I made 4 t-shirts. One of them my 3-year-old actually made because I really wanted to get him into the process. He's always asking me questions when I'm doing it. So when I went to get my t-shirts, I made sure I got one for him, one for my husband, because we also like wearing our clothes, right? And liking that that's what we're wearing is the stuff that we're making. I have an ambition to sew our whole wardrobe one day, but tie-dye kind of took over that. So it's been cool to tie-dye our t-shirts as well. So I got 4 t-shirts, and we tie-dyed them. 2 of them I did for my idea for the Blackout, and it was really, really cool to be able to try the different looks with each of them because I'm doing reverse tie-dye, right? The theme is Blackout. So I'm playing with bleach, and I've got some even cooler ideas with how I would do the next one, with letting one sit for like, an hour, and then bleaching it again and letting it sit for 30 minutes to try to get some like 3D effects, kind of with getting layers and things like that. And I really took notice again how you get better with each one. When I started this, I really got pumped when I started making NFTs. I made one NFT and it was okay. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to make a really cool t-shirt so that when you buy my NFT, you'll get my t-shirt. And I seen a post on Twitter, because I got on Twitter and I'm like, oh, hashtag NFT community, let me get involved and start, meeting people. And there's a lot of bots. It's a lot of, people that you're trying to connect with, but it's, you learn that you start meeting the right people that are into similar things that you're into within that community. And then it starts getting a lot better once you start narrowing that niche down. So actually my husband has sent me a video when Emma had did an interview for Unstoppable Domains. And so I followed her on Twitter, and so I was scrolling on Twitter one day and I seen her post like, hey, do you want to make patterns for the fashion industry? And I'm like, how cool would that be? I have this tie-dye t-shirt. I wonder if I could use that. I sent her a picture. She said, yeah. And I've been making patterns with tie-dye t-shirts ever since. So, like I said, that's really taken a life of its own. And when I made that Galaxy tie-dye t-shirt, that's what I named it. It was Galaxy. So I really wanted to take this Galaxy idea to Galaxy 3.0. That was my inspiration behind these 2 t-shirts that I made. So I did show a sneak peek to our community call this past Thursday that we had. So I won't harp on that too much. You will have to make the next one where I will be showing it again to all of those that make it. It will be in the Digital X server this time as well. And that will be at noon PST on Thursday. So diving into that community call, I did have another community call as well. I know I mentioned that last week, which is really important as you're building your community. You want to be, again, showing them that you're doing what you can, working on your craft, even the behind the scenes with how I have this show, talking about literally my whole week with you guys, showing you the nitty gritty of it. But this is here also to inspire you, again, to do what you can too. You see how I was able to, you're able to in your own way. And but there's business behind that too, right? So to keep that going, one of the things that Emma told us is really good when having this community are community calls, keeping your community involved, keeping them updated with what you're working on. So every week I really try to make it important to have a community call, and I've decided one week will be with just our core members in our server and the Raw Realm Discord, and then the other will be with the Digital X team. So that's been really cool to see the diversity as well as the core members that try to attend both and catch all the updates. Really cool to take note of those kind of things already. But that was great. We talked about the core 8 roles that we decided on. And we're still trying to get an idea for the 8 roles. Like, I keep thinking of calling it kind of like a fruit basket. I kind of evolved that into a garden, but I still want something deeper. I want something deeper. So I'm still looking for something that we can use that for. And let me see. I want to actually tell you guys the roles. Okay, so the 8 roles are content creators, educational and social, strategists, community moderators, information aggregators, a tech team, event planners, designers, and teachers. And those designers are for physical, digital, and physical to digital. So that was really cool to go over kind of like my itinerary and then hear from everyone, hear their ideas. The information aggregator was one of those roles that was suggested, and Chess even was able to send me a few lists that he had already started curating for Global Designer Network and how we'll kind of be able to collaborate on that. And then after that, I even had him introduce himself, which led into just opening up the floor to hear from everyone. Oh, we're not everyone, probably like 3 or 4 people that, just want to introduce themselves, talk about what they've been doing, and just hear from people in the community and in our network, which was really, really cool. So that was great. And moving right along. So let's see, what else have I been up to? So, we talked about our workshops. Really great information. So make sure you guys listen to that community call because we talked about our workshops. And I will give a little sprinkle in here for my listeners. I really want to include our Digimodels, right? Because that will be so cool to have them host for us, especially Alana. She did amazing hosting the Web3 Fashion and even the Bandcore event. So I would love to see how we can integrate them. And I've really also been working with Majestic Apparel and Asa. And with them, it's been cool because she also teaches how to get into digital fashion. So today when we were chatting, I'm like, hey, because she asked about the community call, I'm like, yeah, listen to it and let me know if you have any ideas. And then it would be really cool if maybe your Digimodel teaches like a cool little quick intro to design workshop, and start having our Digimodels kind of go into the workshop. So just a little idea. Again, all of this is premature, just little snippets of the stuff that I'm going through day by day as we're moving into this, starting to think about the people that have shown up, are really interested, want to be involved, and how they're already helping, because she's already helping already. She's in Nigeria and helping people who want to get into digital fashion, taking the time to walk them through how to get used to this. She's even still working now with her students because, again, you want to see them be successful. So having people like that in our community, I want to continue to uplift and spotlight and, continue to help them as well. So really excited to build with them and with our workshops. So definitely make sure you listen. If you guys have any ideas, again, go on our Discord chat and hit the idea button. So after that, I've been also working big in the Global Designer Network. Today was the Safe Space. On Sundays, I am there 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific time. And it was really cool. This was a proposal that I posted when we first started snapshot voting. So I posed it and I was like, it'd be really great if we had something called a safe space where I'm just in there for 2 hours and people that are onboarding or just want to talk about what's happening or want to meet with another designer, like that would just be an open time where we can all go and meet and talk about what's happening in the Global Designer Network. So I'm in there every Sunday. Unless we have another event, then I'm at the other event, obviously. If there's time left over, then, I'll go back into the safe space. But if everybody's there, then, I'll be there the next Sunday, basically, because with the time difference, it's usually late in other places anyway, so I try not to keep it going too much longer. But it was really cool. This Sunday, I got to meet a really cool designer who had questions, and being able to kind of talk them through that introductory as they joined the Discord and, say, hey, here is how you're going to get whitelisted, and just being able to answer the questions that they were having and just building that connection as they joined. It was really cool. A really great opportunity. I love the safe space. I'm happy it was a proposal that went through that I get to do every Sunday. And after that, I worked on the website. It was coming along so great. I'm so excited to show you guys. It definitely is going to evolve more in the future because I'm not, again, too flamboyant right now, but I'm definitely inspired. I have some ideas with how it can transform, but I'm so excited with how it's starting. And this week, as you guys have seen, every day I kind of focused on something different. The first day was really my tie-dyes, which was getting that done so that I can do all the other stuff that comes from that. I focused on the community as well. I focused on Global Designer Network. I focused on my other connections. Aside from all of this, I still focused on my mommy duties, cleaning my house really good, on my nice wifely duties, cooking, and, just being the executive assistant for my husband, the mother for my son, all those things. Every day, every hour, I really try to utilize and optimize, right? So that I could accomplish all the things that I needed to do. Even today, meeting at, 5 o'clock, setting a time for myself to say, this is the time, that I'm going to focus on the secret life of the NFT artist at 5 o'clock on Sunday. And it's also really great because giving myself that Sunday morning for Global Designer Network, I got to go and put in all the stuff that I've been doing with the Quest bot and getting my W3F and just, doing those little things again, giving myself time, scheduling it, really creating an efficient way to optimize what the time that I have available and using it to get everything I need done. So with that being said, you guys know I don't like to keep you too long. That's what I've been up to this week. And I encourage you, as this is the last week of 2021, next time we talk, it will be 2022. So I really encourage you to get you a schedule, okay? And the thing I'll say is, if you're listening to this tonight or even tomorrow, whenever you listen to this, write you out a schedule, right? And if you've listened to my book club, I've also given another schedule, an example, which is I'll give you an extra challenge. This is like an extra credit work right here. Write down your schedule of what you do now. After you write down the schedule that you do now, think about your best self and what that schedule will look like of your best self, what that person will be doing every single day. Now, I got this little gem from Rick Ross in his book, The Perfect Day to Boss Up. So this is a gem right there from my book club. Write those two schedules. Now, when you have that second schedule, I want you to start it, okay? Not start it next week, not start it New Year's. No, start it now, because what you'll start to realize is there might be things that aren't realistic. There aren't things that aren't going to work. So don't be afraid to reassess and do what works for you. That was the first thing I said when we got here, was do what you can, do what works for you. And you have to be able to, adjust and do what works. Otherwise, you're going to be feeling stuck when you can just be readjusting and moving forward. So when you get you a schedule this week, give it a try. It was funny, when I first made my perfect schedule, I realized I didn't include breakfast, right? Because that wasn't one of the things I thought of. So that's why I say again, give it a try for a day or two. Start seeing what doesn't work, so that once the new year comes, you have you a schedule and you can stick to it, right? You have some goals, write you some steps on how you can really accomplish these goals and get to it. I'm not going to lecture you guys on goal getting, but that's how you're going to be able to make those goals come true. Really focus in and optimize that time. I just gave you guys an example, and this is minuscule. This is just the secret life of the NFT artist, right? If you know me, you know I'm, again, a woman of many hats and have a lot of things going on. So, as we all do, and that's why I just always use that example to say, you have to still balance. You have 24 hours in a day. But if you think about it in minutes, you have 1,444 minutes, right? So if you break down your minutes, then again, those are better ways that you can optimize your time. Use 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So that way you can get 2 or 3 things done in an hour, right? So again, just start really reflecting on how you're using your time. Time is our biggest asset, right? It's so valuable. It's something we can't get back. And as you use this time this week to really reflect on how you've been spending your time, I challenge you to challenge yourself to spend it better, because I know there's always a little room on how we can do better. So, peace and blessings to all my listeners. I'll talk to you next year.